Rome. What comes to mind when you hear the four-lettered city? Everlasting glory? A promise of an invincible empire? Or the remains of a giant? They say all roads lead to Rome. Well, they definitely do for a lot of filmmakers who have gone to great lengths to capture its splendor through the ages. Today, let's find out how films have depicted the eternal city through captivating stories, intriguing characters, and everlasting optimism. The Roman Empire serves as a grand stage for stories of conquest, power, and resilience. Tibullus referred to Rome as the eternal city, while Virgil proclaimed it an empire without end. But they were both poets who lived till the 19th century BCE. What does Rome even offer to artists today? The city has called upon lost souls, wanderers, and dreamers for more than a millennia. The glory of the empire was no match to the march of time. Regardless, does the city still hold the promise of strength and stability? Let's dive in to find out. More often than not, people travel to Rome in an attempt to shed off their responsibilities. I mean, the intoxicating aroma of fresh espresso and the touch of melting gelato can definitely trick you into thinking that your problems have disappeared. What is it about the city that allows one to fall for this? Why do characters believe Rome will free them from the burdens of their past? Just like in Eat, Pray, Love, a story of reflection and self-discovery, Rome appears to be a fascinating place for exploration. Liz, a woman who is looking to rediscover herself, walks into Rome with one goal: to indulge.
I used to have this appetite for food, for my life, and it is just gone. I want to go someplace where I can marvel at something.
Freshly divorced, heartbroken, and let down by life, she treats Rome as a feast for the senses. Endless plates of pasta, the thrill of newfound friends, and a fresh sense of freedom. Similarly, in Roman holiday, Rome is a place of joy, fun, and escape. Feeling suffocated under the weight of royal expectations, Princess Anne sneaks out from her palace for a little fresh air, but the city tempts her to break free.
Live dangerously. Take the whole day.
I could do some of the things I've always wanted to.
Like what?
Oh, you can't imagine. I'd like to do just whatever I like, the whole day long.
For one day, she escapes into the streets, rides on a Vespa, boldly gets her hair cut, eats gelato by the Spanish Steps, as if she is living her dream of a free bird, as if all Rome is an open sky. But for how long? Then there's Room in Rome, a film that turns its streets and ancient landmarks into a space of carnal lovemaking. The story follows two women, Alba and Natasha, who meet one night in Rome and spend hours spilling each other's secrets in a small, quiet hotel room.
There was a warrant out for my arrest in Saudi Arabia. I knew that if I'd had Alba, he couldn't have rested until I was caught.
The Eternal City becomes their place for finding vulnerability, allowing them to explore love and identity without the weight of the outside world. But in Rome, reality cannot be postponed forever. This best comes out in the film When in Rome, a modernized twist on Roman beliefs and myths. Beth, a cynical workaholic, finds herself in the middle of an absurdly magical situation. For her sister's wedding, she impulsively steals coins from the legendary Fountain of Love.
Each one of you is a desperate wish for love that is never gonna come true.
Unknowingly casting a spell that causes multiple strangers to fall madly in love with her. Suddenly pursued by eccentric men, she is forced to reconsider her skepticism about romance. The city plays the role of an enchanting trickster, nudging her toward the possibility that maybe love isn't as beyond her as she believed. She gets caught up with distractions in the city that makes her feel as if she can escape, until it asks the real question: is this all you were looking for? And the answer 10 out of 10 times is no. Rome lets you pretend, play, and lose yourself in your own dreams. You might have thought you could outrun yourself here. I mean, sure, at first, the city seems like the perfect place to disappear, but it also slowly starts revealing your deeper layers. Princess Anne was having the best day of her life, but reality soon comes crashing down. She is a princess and cannot abandon her duty.
I have to leave you now. I'm going to that corner there and turn. You stay in the car and drive away.
The day must end. The dream must fade. Rome gently leads her toward this realization that true freedom isn't about escape, but understanding one's place in the world. Similarly, it serves as a city of eye-opening truths, like in Only You, where the use of myth and prophecy is used as an important aspect of the story. Faith, who has spent her life convinced that her soulmate is a man named Damon Bradley, impulsively travels to Rome when a phone call hints at his presence there, believing that destiny has led her to her perfect match.
So we're just gonna fly to Italy and comb the streets looking for a total stranger in a foreign land.
But when she finally learns that the whole thing was a hoax, she realizes life is not about running toward a belief, but about opening eyes to what's real. Emily in Paris showcases Rome, although briefly as a city of timeless romance against the backdrop of its historic beauty. After the rapid chaos of Paris, as we saw in our video Paris on screen, Rome feels like a soothing balm for Emily.
Paris is so orderly and structured, and here it's like, you turn a corner and there's a 2,000-year-old marble statue.
Stable, grounded, and steeped in permanence. In a city where monuments have withstood centuries, Emily is forced to confront the instability of her own choices. When Marcello tells Emily,
"We build things to last,"
the weight of his words lingers. What is she building that will truly last? And then there's the talented Mr. Ripley, where Rome is no longer just a city of escape, but rather of a complete deception. Tom Ripley steps into the dizzy world of Rome's elite, enamored by wealth and status. He carefully crafts a false identity, slipping into another man's life, believing he can live a lie forever.
I don't want too many large bills. No one will change them.
But Rome does not cater to lies for too long. The deeper he immerses himself in deceit, the more the city peels away his mask. Rome does not rush, neither does it bend to fleeting fantasies. It waits, it watches, and when the time is right, it asks you to stop, to breathe, and to face what you have been avoiding all along. So, can you ever truly escape yourself in Rome? The answer was never yes. Rome doesn't let you run. Rather, it teaches you that what you were running away from is not outside you. It's within. The Eternal City up till now has been about indulgence and spectacle. What happens when you realize you can no longer escape your pain? When the grandeur of Rome fades and all that remains is the raw, unfiltered truth? Beneath Rome lies a force which strips characters down to their core. What remains after is clarity.
The mouth of truth. The legend is that if you're given to lying, you put your hand in there, it'll be bitten off.
In The Great Beauty, Rome is painted as dazzling, yet so hollow. Journalist Jep Gambardella, initially lost in a world of excess, enters a journey of recalling, resolving, and recovering from his fading past. Endless parties, meaningless conversations, and shallow grandeur. Once a promising writer, he became a king of the city's nightlife. But as he walks through Rome, surrounded by its silent monuments, something shifts. He is no longer young, he is no longer deceived. The empty life he has built for himself suddenly feels unbearable. He begins searching for something real, forcing him to confront the loss of his one true love. La Dolce Vita offers a twisted journey seduced by the glamour and luxury of Roman high society. Another journalist, Marcello, circles the world of the rich and famous, drawn into its extremes. Like for Jep, Rome offers him everything from status and pleasure to excitement. But soon he realizes that party after party, lover after lover, he is not moving forward. Instead, he is spiraling.
Scendi dalla macchina, Emma.
No, non
Scendi dalla macchina! È finita, lo vuoi...
By the film's end, Marcello sits on the shore watching a young girl, a symbol of purity and meaning, calling out to him. Unlike Jep, he has lost his innocence. He cannot understand her. He turns his back on her, giving up his final shot at redemption. On the other side, Italian neo-realist cinema offers a different Rome, one of struggle and survival. Bicycle Thieves shows us the brutal truths about poverty through an intimate story. The film follows Antonio and his son, Bruno, as they look for a stolen bicycle all over the city, which is Antonio's only means of making a living. Yet, Rome does not offer miracles. It doesn't even bend to his desperation.
Mamma t'ammola uno sganasletto appiccica al muro. Ma io t'ammazzo! Se non la tiri fuori, hai voglia a strillare. Io non mi muovo da qua, tu la tiri fuori.
By the end, Antonio is forced to attempt theft himself and is caught in front of Bruno, leaving him to face the uncomfortable truths about life. Rome shall never promise grand resolutions. All Roman narratives seem to follow a distinct pattern. Whether through historical epics, neo-realist tragedies, or modern dramas, the city remains a living symbol of eternity. Rome does not change people. It simply forces them to see who they truly are. And after that, there is no adventure left. So what is it that Rome offers when the promise of eternity is no longer relevant? When the tall structures stand as a testament to a broken promise? Stories set in Rome do not just throw the characters into their next phase of life, but teach them the final lesson. The story of Gladiator could, in many ways, be the story of Rome itself. It follows a betrayed General Maximus who is stripped of everything. His family murdered, his status taken, his freedom destroyed.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance, in this life or the next.
Even though the story is set in antiquity, Maximus already starts seeing the downfall of Rome. The empire he built now stands as his own brutal master. How does Maximus still endure? Because he does not fight for revenge alone. He fights for honor, for legacy, for something greater than himself. The Colosseum, a place of bloodshed and cruelty, becomes the place for redemption. Rome leaves you with a few important lessons about yourself. Stability and peace come from within, not from running away. It forces Liz to sit with herself, to confront the silence in between the distractions, which allows her to close a chapter and tie up the loose ends. By the time Princess Anne's Roman holiday ends, she no longer resists her duty, but returns back to the palace as a changed woman who has tasted freedom and made peace with her reality. As dawn arrives for Alba and Natasha, with it comes the realization too that some encounters are meant to shape us, and we must withstand through them. For Ripley, Rome is not a place of self-discovery but of self-erasure, with Rome no longer remaining a safe haven. After learning about the death of his first love, Jep regrets the beauty he has failed to appreciate. Antonio, once hopeful for a new life, walks through the streets stripped of his dignity, reminding us that survival in Rome is not about grand victories, but about enduring even when all is lost. Maximus also, like all our modern-day characters in Rome, could not escape his reality, and his acceptance of this fact became his victory. Dead men might not be able to tell tales, but Rome definitely can. Its unchangeable presence transforms its beholder. The sight of the decaying crown and a proud skull frozen in glory that once was brings in a shift. It puts things into perspective, and perhaps that's the real promise of Rome. Let us know in the comments what's your favorite depiction of Rome on screen. If you like this exploration of Rome in cinema, check out our deep dive into Paris as well. Like, share, and subscribe for more.